Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I am Chris from iLather.com, and today I'm going to break down 7 components of the traditional shave and rank them in order of their importance. And you'll see where I'm going with this in just a moment, but I do want to make a caveat before I start. Shaving or traditional wet shaving is not a one-size-fits-all sort of sport. So some of these items and the areas where I rank them in importance, you might move it up or down a little bit, but I think this pretty much holds true for the majority of people, or at least as I see it. And we're going to start with the most important and work our way down to the least important. And the number one most important thing, or most important component when it comes to traditional shaving, is you. Or you, I should say, yourself, your technique, your knowledge of your products, and knowing what your face will and won't tolerate. As you learn, some people, for example, can't go against the grain. Some people, for example, can't make a full 3 passes. You really have to learn what your face will tolerate, and as you do, you'll develop a lot more competency and things will go very, very well. Your technique, your knowledge is the number one most important factor in terms of the traditional wet shave. The second most important thing, as I see it, is blade and blade choice. Now, there's something I want to make very, very clear when it comes to blades. You cannot use a blade just once and make a determination. And blade choices early on. If you're new to wet shaving, you can pretty much throw it out the window in terms of your preference, because early on, generally you don't know what you're doing and you're normally going to blame the blade early on. I blamed Derby Extra. I thought it was terrible. As it turned out, it was me. Now I can use these and they work fine for 3 shaves, and they work just as well as most blades. But early on, I wouldn't have said that. A lot of people, on the other hand, think feather is the sharpest. For me, I treat feather just like any other blade. You want a sharp blade on your face. You want sharp tools when you work with them. But one thing I can't emphasize enough, as you're choosing blades early on, use what feels comfortable, but don't be afraid to go back to ones that maybe you didn't feel were so great once your technique is down. Blade choice is really, really a subjective thing. Some people love feather, some hate them. A lot of people hate Derby. I have grown to learn that they're not that bad. So you have to figure out which blades work best for you. And to me, it's the second most important factor in the traditional wet shave. The third most important factor in the traditional wet shave, as I see it, is your shaving soap. You need to use a quality shaving soap. Don't use that Van der Hagen crap that you see at Walmart or Gillette foam or any of that stuff. Now, the Van der Hagen stuff will work okay, but I suggest you go ahead and spend a few more bucks and get yourself a quality soap like Katie's Bubbles or Sterling or K-Shave Works. I mean, I could go on and on. Cold River Soap Works. Get yourself at least one high quality shave soap. That doesn't mean you have to spend a ton. You can spend 12, 15 bucks, get yourself a nice quality shave soap, learn how to lather it. That soap provides the protection for your skin. It also serves to moisturize after the shave. We'll get into that in a little bit. If it's a good quality soap, it will provide for a good post shave as well. But it's very important to get a quality soap that lathers well and provides that protection, slickness, cushion, and glide that you need. And that's why I think it's the third most important factor in the traditional wet shave. And coming in at number 4, prep. And by prep, I mean, what do you do prior to the shave? Do you take a shower? Do you wash your face? Do you scrub your face to exfoliate? Do you use a pre-shave product? Now, for me, admittedly, I don't have any use for pre-shave products. They don't add a lot to me, but a lot of folks find pre-shave products to be very, very helpful. Some folks even like to use a hot towel on their face to soften the whiskers and all the rest. I think prep is far more important for new shavers than it is for veteran shavers. A lot of veteran shavers, they drop a lot of the prep work that they do at the beginning when they're learning to shave, just because they don't need it anymore. But I still feel overall it's fairly important, and that's why it comes in at number 4 in the list of importance in the traditional wet shave. And coming in at number 5, the razor. And I bet a lot of you are shocked that the razor is so low. But I got to tell you, I have used a ton of razors. I'm sure a couple of hundred, maybe, or far more than 100, let's put it that way. And For the most part, I can get a good shave and a great shave with most razors. You don't have to spend a ton of money on that first razor or any razor if you don't want to. This Merkur 34C is about 30 some bucks, and it will shave as well as some of the razors that are far more than 100 bucks. It is important to have a decent razor, but razors can be had, and sometimes they're very cheap. You can get a Razor Rock, a German 37 slant for like 20 bucks. The razor, in my view, is not nearly as important as a lot of the other things, and that seems counterintuitive, but that is what I've learned through my years of experience. I can get a shave on most razors very, very nicely. Now, if you have very sensitive skin, or you have requirements like super dense and wiry beard, you may need a certain type of razor that's more aggressive, or for some people less aggressive, and so this could escalate in your list. But in my list, the razor, just about any razor, will work pretty well overall. And the sixth most important factor in the traditional wet shave is post. What do you use in your post shave routine? Do you use a balm like this? I don't really use balms because my skin tends to be a little moister on the oily side. Do you use an aftershave splash? These choices are important based on the type of skin you have, and also the type of aftershave splash that you use can be important. For example, aftershaves like Sterling has witch hazel, which is really nice. Other aftershaves have aloe and different things, so you really have to be selective, especially if you have a sensitive face, and the type of post-shave products that you use. Some people use both. Some people only use one. Like me, I only use splashes. I can use splashes that are just alcohol and the fragrance and not much else, but I also appreciate splashes that have witch hazel, aloe, and all the rest. You have to decide what works best for you, but what you do in the post will have some effect on the outcome of the shave, and that's why it is the number 6 in my level of importance. And coming in dead last, the brush. And I know a lot of people are going to be shocked by this. Our preference is we would want to rank the brush way up high because we like it, but in terms of what it does, I got to tell you folks, just about any brush, regardless of how crappy, will generate a decent lather. Natural hair, synthetic, badger, you can get a crappy brush and it will do a decent job lathering. Now, will it feel nice? No. But the way it feels really isn't that important when it comes to the shave, in my opinion. This is really more of a utility type thing. It's just there to make a lather. The way it feels, you will enjoy more. But what it really means to the shave, to me, is not that much overall, because just about any brush will hit the mark. This one here is probably 12, 14 bucks, and it works as well as a $250 Badger. So, you know, in terms of importance, the brush is at the dead end, because again, I've used crappy brushes, I've used very high-end brushes, and they've all worked great in doing what they're supposed to do, which is generate a lather. Now, some people say use the backbone to exfoliate. I think that's a bunch of rubbish. I just don't buy into that. I've never bought into that. I take a shower, I scrub my face before I shave, and that's what does the exfoliation. And if that didn't do it, dragging that sharp steel across my face is going to do the rest. The brush is, in my opinion, as soft as they are, especially if you're using synthetic or high-end Badger, they're not going to exfoliate that much. I mean, they're really not unless you get a super scrubby brush and really dig in, and then that's not comfortable. Why would you want to put yourself through that? So for me, dead last comes the brush. It is nice. It is a luxury. We would like to rank it high, but really, in terms of what it really brings to the table, it just makes a lather. And most any brush can do that. And all right, folks, there you have my 7 components of the shave, and in the order of importance, which I think they are. Your mileage may vary, as always. This is never a one-size-fit hobby, so you might move some things here and there, but it shouldn't be dramatically different for most people. This has been based on my years of experience and based on my trying many, many different products. And I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you have found this useful, and I hope you join us again soon. Until next time, let's help make the whole world shave great once again.